स्वाध्याय टीवी डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaskar dear students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series in Java programming. Today our topic is Introduction to Programming, but before that I would like to revise last lecture content. In last lecture we have learned the basic concepts of object oriented programming such as object, class, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, etc. We have also discussed the benefit of object oriented programming, and we have learned how to download and install NetBeans and JDK bundle so that you need not to install them separately. And today's topic is Introduction to Programming. So, today we will learn how to write down a Java program, but for that what are the requirements for creating Java application, that we discuss. Then we discuss Java program structure. One of the important part of Java program is main method. So, we discuss main method in some detail, and once our program is ready we need to compile and run our program. So, we understand the flow chart of compilation process, and then we create one hello world application, compile that application and execute this application, and we also discuss how memory is used by Java program. So, we starts with requirement of creating Java application. For creating a Java application you require any text editor to enter source code. Example of text editors are Notepad, VI editor in Linux that you can use to write your Java program, but it does not provide any features like syntax highlighting, automatic code completion, etc. For these reason we use NetBeans IDE. NetBeans IDE is a full-fledged Java development environment or integrated development environment for creating Java application. It provides all the necessary features like syntax highlighting, facility for compiling and running program, debugging your program, and it also provides other features like automatic code completion, etc. Another requirement is Java development kit. So, you need to install Java before running your Java application, and you also require Java runtime environment which is JRE. So, JDK and JRE are needed for writing your program. JDK is for writing your application and JRE is run for running your application. So, requirement for creating Java application is any text editor or IDE, and with these you must have Java development kit and Java runtime environment installed on your system. Remember, JRE is only for executing your application and JDK is used for developing your application. So, these three are the basic requirement for creating Java application. We generally write down comment inside program. So, Java supports two type of comments. One is a single line comment and another is multiple line comment. You can see single line comment in red line on your screen, and multiple line comment write down using slash asterisk and asterisk slash. Anything write down between slash asterisk and asterisk slash is considered as a multi line comment, and for writing single line comment you just need to write down double slash. Technically speaking, comment is those part of program for which object code is not generated. That means, these comment part is completely ignored by the compiler, and it is just for mentioning the important documentation for your source code or coding part. So, comment is a additional part of program which is just for specifying what these coding describes. So, it does not actually part of your program, but just to mention what these statements do, we write down comment, so that any other can easily understand our program. So, this is how we can write down comment in Java. Now, if we look at the structure of our Java program. So, here you can see the very first statement in Java program is a package statement, and for writing or specifying package we use package keyword, and if you follow mouse pointer, this package is a keyword, and second my package is the name of my package. Now, why we require package? Package organize our code into a hierarchy. For example, my package name is a my package. So, one folder with name my package is created inside my source folder, and all these class files are stored inside this folder. So, it helps us to organize our program content. We will discuss package in great detail, but right now we can remember that whatever package is specified, that folder is created inside our source directory, and all the classes are stored inside this directory. Suppose my package name is baou.edu.in, then there is a baou folder inside my source folder, and inside baou there is a folder name edu, and inside that folder with name in will be created, and all the classes are stored inside in folder. The next statement is a import statement. Java provides number of inbuilt classes, and all related classes are organized as a class library. For example, here we write down import java.io.star. It means it combines all the input output related classes in java.io package. We write down java.sql. So, all the database connectivity class are organized inside this package called java.sql. So, whatever class you want to use in your program, you have to import class library belonging to that class. So, this import statement is optional. Package statement is also optional, but it is highly recommended that you put all the class inside package. Then, as we discussed earlier, Java is a pure object oriented programming. So, there should be at least one class, and this is a main class. You can see here our class main includes main method. So, this main method is a compulsory to write down in main class, or whatever class that contains this method, main method is called main class. So, we write down at least one class, and we write down main method inside this class, and this class is known as a main class. If you look at the syntax of main method, we write down public static void main, and it takes string array as an argument, and whatever statement you write down inside this main method will be executed first before any other method or statement is executed. And suppose we have some other classes other than main class, you can always write down that inside our class. So, below main class is a subclass definition. Again, this is a optional part. So, this is all about our Java program structure. Next, we discuss main method. Main method is very important because any Java program start its execution from main method. So, we discuss main method first, and main must be declared as a public, because it must be called by code outside of its class when the program is started. If it is not public, nobody can use this method, because only public method can be called outside program. Then we use keyword static. Now, these allows main to be called without having to instantiate a particular instance of the class. In simple word, we can say we can call main method by name of main class without creating object of main class. So, we discuss static method and static keyword later on, but right now we can remember that main method can be called without creating object of main class. Now, void tells the compiler that main does not return a value. So, we discuss three keyword that is used along with main method. One is public, another is a static, and another is a void. Now, if you look at the main method argument, it is a array of string. Now, these array of type string is used to receive any command line argument present when the program is executed. Now, what is command line argument? Now, in earlier days, people used to execute these program from command prompt. Suppose my syntax is type and file name. So, these file name can be considered which is type at command prompt as a command line argument, and these file name can be fetched inside main method, and we can use this parameter for opening that file. Likewise, we can have another use of these command line argument also. In short, anything which is typed at command prompt along with executing Java program is known as a command line argument, and we can fetch these command line argument inside main method as an argument. So, Java automatically fetches this command line argument as a parameter of main method. So, this is all about main method. We write down one sample application or hello world application in NetBeans. So, here is our hello world sample application. We can see here our class name is a hello world. Now, Java use camel notation, that means all class name starts with capital letter, and if it contains another word, hello is one word, world is another word. So, all word is a capital in case of class name. Suppose I am using method, for example, my method name is readline, then in case of method first character is a small case, and if second word encounters, that is starts with capital. So, if method name is a read line, then read is a small and first letter, that is L of line, is a capital. So, these convention we used inside our program. So, our class name is hello world. Inside hello world we write down main method, which is public, static, void, main. What is meaning of public, static and void, that we have discussed, and these args specifies argument to be fetched from command line, and inside these we write down system.out.println. Now, these system.out reference to your standard output device, that is screen or monitor, and system.in specifies your standard input, that is keyboard. So, we are printing hello world on our screen by writing these line system.out.println, and these method is defined for taking all types of argument, integer, float, double, object, etc., and accordingly it prints value on screen. Now, here in second line we write down system.out.println, which means we want to print something on screen, and what we want to print is a specified as a literal or constant in double quotes, which is hello, and then we concat another value by writing plus sign or plus operator, and here I write down arg s0. It means I want to display first command line argument specified by user. So, these program assume that we will display or provide at least 3 command line argument. If these 3 argument is not provided, then it may results in error. So, this is how we display value provided by user at command line. So, here we write down hello plus args 0, which means first command line argument. Remember, all array index starts with 0. So, our sample application takes command line argument, and whatever provided as command line argument is displayed using system.out.println. So, now we discuss flowchart of compilation process. Our file source file extension is Java. For example, if it is a.java, my source code file name is a.java, then first I need to compile my program. So, I use Java compiler, which is also one program which is javac.exe. So, I compile these a.java program using javac.exe file, and it generates byte code instead of object code as we discussed earlier. So, suppose your program contains some error, then it displays error report or the details of error on screen, and your program cannot be compiled. Suppose your program does not contain any error, then our bytecode file is generated, which is a.class. Now, these bytecode is a same for all Java compiler, and suppose I generated this bytecode on Windows platform, I can run these bytecode file on Linux platform using this JVM or Java interpreter, and we require Java runtime environment installed on that Linux system, and this JVM must be available there. So, this bytecode is the magic that provides Java platform independence, and this Java interpreter executes or interpret this bytecode and runs this program and provides us whatever output it is meant to be. So, this is how we can compile and run our Java program. On development side, we have JDK installed. On run or execution side, we require JRE and Java virtual machine. So, this is how we can compile and run our program. Now, when you run your program, you declare local variable, objects and methods, and you call these methods. So, Java store program in two parts, one is called stack, another is called heap. Now, both is a area in memory, but what is difference is on stack generally it stores method invocation, variables, local references and local variable, but all the objects, that is instance variable and instance reference and objects are stored on heap. No matter where they are created, all the objects are stored onto heap. So, when Java program runs into memory, it requires two part in memory, one is stack and another is called heap. In stack it stores local variable and in heap it stores all the objects. Now, let us start writing sample application in NetBeans. So, here I starts my NetBeans. So, this is our initial screen on NetBeans. We want to write down a new project inside our NetBeans. So, go to file menu and then you have to write down new project. Now, here NetBeans IDE provides many types of application development, but we want to develop application for Java. So, select Java in category and Java application as a project, and then we have to press next. Now, our project name is the folder that is created by NetBeans for you, where all the resource file, that is source file and class files are stored. So, project name I give hello world, and then this is a project location where this hello world folder is created, and this is a complete path for project folder. And here if I check this checkbox which specifies create main class, then main class is automatically created for me with name hello world. But I do not want to create main class for me, so I uncheck these and press finish. So, remember main class is not created, we have to create main class ourselves. So, I write down, I press finish. So, this is my earlier project, here is our new project hello world. If you look at hello world, remember we are in project window, there is a library and source package. Now, I want to add class inside my package. So, right click on source package and then select new, and inside new you have to select Java class. Suppose I want to give class name as a main. Here you have to specify your package. So, I write down my package. So, if you look at these inside hello world, inside source folder, this folder is created and my Java file will be stored in this folder. So, it creates my package folder and put this main class inside that package. So, I just press finish. So, this is a skeleton of our class. Here is a package which is my package. We have not used any import statement. This is a main class. I want to write down main method inside manually. So, I write down public static void and main, and it takes argument of type string array. And inside these I write down system.out.println, and here I write down hello world. So, it will display hello world on my screen. Now, my program is ready. I just want to display hello world message on screen. So, I save this file and right click on this main.java file and select run file. Now, this run file first compiles our program. If it is successfully compiled, it immediately execute this program. So, I select run file. Shortcut key for running file is shift plus F6. You can also use this shortcut key. I click on run file. So, here is our output window and it displays hello world. Next, I want to provide command line argument to my program. So, for that you have to select project hello world, right click on it, go to property. Inside property we have run, and here in argument you can supply command line argument. So, I write down three arguments separated by space. So, this is first, this is second, and this is third argument. So, it will automatically pass to our main class, and here you can specify main class also. So, here we have only one class, my package dot main. So, we select main class and then press OK. Now, these three argument is a provided inside these args variable, which is array of string. So, here I write down system.out.print. You can see on screen NetBeans IDE automatically provides help. So, here I select println, and inside println I write down hello and that argument, which is first argument. So, first argument is 0, second argument is 1 and third argument 2 and so on. So, here I write down hello args 0, args 1 and args 2, and remember these plus is used to concate two variable. So, hello is a fixed part and this is a variable part which depends on that argument. So, first argument is Himanshu. So, it write down hello Himanshu, then second argument is Nikhil. So, it write down hello Nikhil, and third argument is Vishakha. So, it write down hello Vishakha. So, this is how we can use command line argument. You have to run your project from these run button or run project button. So, I am pressing this run project button, or alternatively you can press F6 also. So, here in output window you can see it displays hello world, which is fixed string, and here it displays hello Himanshu, hello Nikhil and hello Vishakha. So, this is our output of program which use command line argument. So, today we have learned how to create Java program, and we also understand Java program structure, main method and process of compiling and executing Java program in detail. We have also created hello world application in NetBeans and executed it. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तपः।
स्वाध्याय टीवी